Thank God it's Friday, like we always say. Good morning. This is Wake Up Nigeria. We're reaching you live from our Srtv studio here in London. My name is Princess Kelsey. As usual, I have with me
Daddy Chris.
and already have Abuja cooking up Mary and Kenneth. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Good
It's
morning.
weekend. How is London?
Yes, as usual, cold, but we're there surviving. And of course, how is Nigeria today?
Nigeria is fine.
Oh, good.
With
Good.
the morning sun.
Good. We're good.
Can you
And,
imagine?
what's going on, Kenneth? Yesterday there was a picketing of the major Abuja airports. How was that like?
Well, it has come and it has gone. I hope we don't see such again.
Are you not sure that they are still going to picket that airport today?
No,
Are you
no,
sure Labour
I don't
they've
think
already
so. I don't
made
think
their
so.
statements and they are okay with what they've done?
I don't think we'll see that again. I
And
really
we
don't
saw yesterday as well that Imo State Airport was grounded, activities also grounded, which actually brought serious commotion, and a lot of people have been attacking Labour over that move. We could see that a lot of people from Imo, Air Peace passengers and other airlines were stranded yesterday. And even at the airport yesterday, we saw that Abuja Airport was locked down for a long time. The roads were blocked, and the people were actually stranded. People that had, flights to catch, timing, and all that. All this disrupted yesterday, as regarding to Labour, trying to pass a message across to the government. I think this they tagged on the attack on their president, and of course, what happened last week. And this is what we saw yesterday at Airport Road, close to the airport in Abuja yesterday, Kenneth.
Well, you see, I hope Uzodinma this morning had come up to, offer apology to the Labour chairman. But of course, he stated clearly that he was never aware that the chairman was coming to Imo State. And of course, the police said they were not aware of any demonstration. So that was why there was lapse of security. And like I always say, when two elephant fight, it is the grass that will suffer. Now,
But Kenneth, don't you think that our apology is coming rather a little bit late? This is something he would have done immediately. We are very sorry. As a state, as the number one person of a state, something like this happens, and he has been more mute for days until a picketing was done on the state.
Well, let me just say, you see, also as the number one person of the state, due respect was not given to him by the Labour Congress chairman. At least when you go into a state, it is expected, like you said, the number one person of the state, you could have informed him, probably even not through writing, please expect Labour delegation in Imo State.
They were actually writing, I have been in touch with the organized Labour. Document MOUs were sent to me, and they have been passing across messages. And of course, even prior to that very day, 2 days to that time, there was a major headline in one of our national dailies that they are shutting down Imo State. And I think people are aware. You could see that a lot of people actually gathered in that secretariat.
The question is, people aware is okay.
Is the government aware?
Informed. Because before you do any protest legally, you have to inform the police so the police can be prepared. We have a case right here in England at the moment where the state has just, the police has just okayed the protest of the Palestinians in London. But the Home Secretary is saying it's a wrong practice. What we're saying is that, but at the end of the day, the police were informed so they can be prepared to protect lives and properties, because you never know what a protest can. A protest can result to riot. You understand? Legally, or ideally, what they should have done is actually to inform the governor. So being aware is not enough. You don't go to newspaper to inform governor.
Yes. You're not using paper to inform governor,
Or the police.
but all the police, sir. But they said it was an MOU, and the governor failed.
So, in other words, is that because of the MOU? That's why they did not inform the police?
No, I did not ask whether or not they did not inform the police. I need to bring them here and they'll say that themselves.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that, is it right that after such an incident, You wait until after you
No,
get in
that-
of a
the
state
governor-
before the governor
in
comes
fact,
out to
I
say,
think
I
even
apologize.
The federal
That
government
is
is
the
even
question.
tackling labor again on this issue. I can see the headline on your Punch newspaper this morning. And that is no excuse at all. As a statesman, you see what, sometimes I used the word yesterday, please, if you can pretend, then you can be good. You understand? If Sodima refused to pretend, as I yesterday, I was not aware, even Nami Killer. You understand? I was not aware. I'm very sorry. You understand? You've done what you need to do. At least the man is now in the hospital. Organized labor did do this. So I would say they will say, people will say, the governor has come out to apologize, to explain to us that he didn't do it. But to keep mute throughout these days, Kenneth, there's no excuse. There is no excuse at all.
There is no excuse for keeping mute, but of course, there is also no excuse to say that it is the governor that did this attack. It has not been proven.
No,
yet.
Kenneth, we're not even going there. If because keeping mute alone shows that he's the one, that is another indictment. As the number one citizen, he should have come out and say, hey, I was not aware, I was not informed. Look at the excuse he's giving now, that because the police were not informed. So is that why that's why he was brutalized? You now send your men. What I would have said is, again, this amount to public control, right? You addressing us. Sorry, I was not aware. And this thing must have been carried out by some hoodlums. We will make sure we get them. You start to chase your own shadow. They know we're not going to get them. And the matter would have died down. But now you kept quiet for days, only to come out and tell us, I was not informed that it's going to be a protest. I think the police should be saying that, not even him.
And I feel that that apology is actually coming on the heel that Imo State was granted to a hot yesterday. There were no activities. Anyway,
Are they still not? Are they not in a hot still now? Are they going to get out with that?
no, this is actually Abuja as of yesterday.
Yeah, Abuja is extending the message to Imo State.
Yes,
is it not protest because of
and I believe because Abuja has now been affected, that is why the government hackles the ball, because this is where officials usually jet off at every given opportunity.
And they need to feel the heat. Since Tinubu refused to respond officially, this is what they get. If Tinubu responded as a state, as the number one citizen in charge of our security, that our number one labor man head has been broken, now in hospital, maybe this would have been avoided. You understand? This would have been avoided. You understand? Or perhaps it may have been reconsidered. But since everybody kept mute,
I really hope that would be the end of it, the one that happened yesterday. Let's not go there today. Because innocent people, like Kenneth said, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. We saw the people miss their flight yesterday. Imagine how expensive flights are, and the people would have had appointment meetings in other states, and then, or maybe interviews, and the next thing, somebody just make.
But the next person could be them. If they don't take this seriously, you might think it doesn't concern me, but the next person might be you. So if the organized labor boss is seriously brutalized, we need to know. We need to raise awareness. You understand?
And he's actually recuperating from the last time I checked yesterday. Amen. He's actually getting better. We'll move on quickly to the papers now, and we're going to start with the Punch newspaper. These are some of the stories we have coming from the Punch this morning. The main headline here says, off-season polls. FG tackles labor over strike. Union disrupt in Imo flights. Unions disrupt Imo flights. Don't allow Labour Party destroy NLC TUC. Minister condemns airport picketing. INEC insists on polls. Union stop Owerri flights. Block Abuja airports. United Nigeria Airlines Air Peace passengers stranded. All these stories are on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says energy. FG Saudi sign MOU. Exim Bank UBA partner on trade. And that story is on page 21 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says 40 AIG's commissioners redeployed in police shakeup. And that story is on page 13 of the Punch newspaper. There's a story here that says Nigerians shot by Togolese soldiers seek Tinubu's help on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says Fashion Ruti, Adebanjos and Afenifere fashions clash over Supreme Court verdicts on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. There's a story here that says border closure. Businesses collapse in northern communities, smuggling booms. and that story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. Crude exports to Europe rise, FG boasts local supply, and that story is on page 10 of the Punch newspaper. Budget hearing, Senate demands sacking of MDA heads, and that story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from the Punch this morning. And there are some stories here. We know that Labour and federal government and the Labour Party all there. But there's a story here that says energy, FG, Saudi sign MOU. And we saw another story as well that says crude exports to Europe rise, FG boasts local supply. Kenneth, what does this mean to us?
Well, thank you. You see, when you're seeing that a crude export to Europe is rising, and this in fact shows you the fiscal policy of this administration. Remember, I said yesterday that the only way they could strengthen the naira against the dollar would be to, of course, export what we can produce, which is, of course, just crude oil for now. And you're going to see more of oil and energy exports out of Nigeria, because that is the only way you can get the forex. So yes, it is what it is right now. But my problem with this arrangement is that we export and then we still import the refined product. So maybe, of course, we know with the presidency, they have a long-term plan to put refineries back, and of course, Dangote refinery and some other modular refineries coming up. But if he's on this story, we're going to see more of crude oil being exported. I think the only reason we're having minimal export now is because of OPEC guidelines in the amount of crude they want to live. But if you want to give this administration a chance, they want to sell as much as they can to show up the naira against the dollar.
Why are you laughing, Daddy Chris?
Do we have another story? Has there been any government that refused to sell crude oil?
Well,
has there been any change? Is there been a time when we say no, we will not sell what we have? There was a time they could not even produce it, they couldn't even drill enough, you understand? The insecurity in the Niger Delta was so much, you understand? See, Kenneth, well, I think you're always speaking like a party man. At some point, you get to speak for Nigeria. Very important. At some point, you have to speak for Nigeria, because
I'm speaking for Nigeria, sir.
Yes, I'm not happy at all, because what you see here is a country that is increasing the oil export. I will determine that, we're increasing other export, to boost Nigerian economy. That would have been interesting. Like you rightly faulted them. They're not thinking of how we're going to refine the oil for our own use. The only reason we're exporting more oil is because of the crisis in Europe. There's nothing is coming from Russia. There's crisis everywhere. So they will come to us. But what are we going to do with the money? And let's not talk about where the oil is coming from. The degradation, the environmental. You see, there's an earthquake in Libya and in Morocco. I hope you guys are aware. And it might be, we've not proven yet, it might be because of the amount of drilling that's taking place in those places. You understand? And God is helping us. But sometimes you have to protect yourself.
That's it.
Who knows the effect of all this? We're not even talking of just the people in the area cannot fish. We're not talking of the potential effect, like earthquake in the future. And all the federal government of Nigeria is doing with exporting more crude oil. Better for now. Let's go.
ABC.
Okay, and there's a story here as well that says border closure, businesses collapse in northern communities, smuggling booms.
Of course not. What do you expect?
I don't understand. Border closure. I thought borders were open as of today.
If they close, if people don't smuggle, smuggling is as in if you go to, have you been to Badagry?
Yes, I've been to
To some
Badagry.
area.
Yes.
You should move there. My friend had another guy even, he had a hotel there back in those days. In fact, the amount of smuggling going on in the Nigeria. So sometimes it is actually easy to make the border more flexible for things, because the customs, Nigerian customs alone, if they collect the normal revenue, that alone, because as you are importing, federal government is supposed to be getting something back to, so if the custom with this massive importation, and the customs are doing their job, then we have some relief. And the federal government will have some little money to offset some of the bill. The money goes into private pockets. The open border. Why? Smuggling is always our destiny. Unfortunately, it's our destiny. And it's what we write down for our children. No, this is no joke. You understand? A country that cannot protect its border. I don't believe in the border anyway. You understand? I think all these places, African countries should trade, especially ECOWAS. There should be no border. You understand? They should use one currency, this stupidity. Because before you have to change Naira to go to Cotonou Safehouse and come back, you see, this Safehouse is still controlled by France, controlling our destiny over there, telling us what to do. We're not thinking of that major issue. Is it poor Cotonou people? No. But the Cotonou people, we need to control what they bring into their country. You understand? That's what you get. If you allow Cotonou to stay where it is, every nonsense is dumped in Cotonou, and it passes through the border into Nigeria. You know, and the French government will not leave Cotonou alone. They will not leave those Benin people alone. You understand? To have a destiny. So it is time for this West African nation to know whatever affects Cotonou affects us. They cannot just open a stupid port only for the purpose of bringing their goods into Nigeria. You understand? And these things, why we don't want to fight them, we don't want. In fact, I think Cotonou should be a state in Nigeria. That Benin Republic, it should be a state in Nigeria. Maybe 2 states. They should not be a country, you know, because they're not big enough. How much is their GDP?
Honestly, they are not. They are not big enough.
That agrees if you just said it all. But this also reaffirms my position when it comes to issue of border closure as a means to protect economy. The northern border has actually closed, Princess, because of the subsidy removal. It was being reported, of course, that we had petroleum product that was subsidized in Nigeria that found their way up to Chad, up to Niger, after being highly subsidized in Nigeria. And we've had that border closure, at some time, but I think they're already working on, easing that out. But then it reaffirms my position when it comes to border closure as an economic policy. It does not work. Nowhere in the world does it work. Even Donald Trump had to build a wall, to stop illegal migrant flow, because the moment there is a border, of course, you're creating business for smugglers, because people always want to circumvent the process. But for me, I think if we have to put heavy tax on foreign products that come into Nigeria, then you're just going to stop the test for that. Because if I'm going to buy a bottle of Star at 400 naira in Nigeria, and then you're bringing Budweiser from Europe, and because of the heavy taxing and everything, I'm going to buy it for 1,000 naira. You don't need to advise me on what to take again. I will know that my pocket cannot support this. I'll have to take this. But when the products that come into Nigeria are almost competing with the prices of goods in Nigeria, then that is a problem. But I think
that is sorry, I had to cut you there. That is completely is completely out of order. Look at it. We don't control Cotonou, just Benin Republic, and then Niger. These are countries controlled by French government. They just anything goes into those countries. Any country, they don't have a say. You understand? They just say they don't even have money. They see they are safest. It's French safest. You understand? Now French has even moved away. They're using euro now. I don't know why French government didn't tell them to use euro. You understand? If they are fair to them, they forced them to use safest. And now they moved to euro. They didn't change the African currency to euro. They leave them where they are. What I'm trying to say is that we cannot tolerate the amount of influx of stupidity going into those countries. They shouldn't be coming to Nigeria. That's why we said there should be a border. And opening your border is, in fact, we're talking about, we just know a simple economy. When you can sell more than you buy, your economy is high. That's international trade. It's simple economics. You understand? We are not thinking of what we're going to sell. Only thing they said now, I'm happy the first news is we're going to sell a lot of crude oil. Can you imagine? When we have a lot we can sell. And this is not even biscuits. As far as to biscuits, if you give Cotonou chance, they will import bread from Europe.
In fact, you're very, very right on that. You see, but like I keep saying, these are policies that will take place a step at a time. We are selling crude oil because at the time,
this current government take us 10 years back because Buhari has moved on a little bit forward. And to be fair to that government, they tried. They said, okay, listen, we ban some of these things, close this border so that we can rely on our own goods. We talk about here using this mass vehicle to make our Why can't we use our own vehicles? You understand? This sensitization, by the time Nigerians are aware, they will begin to ask questions. This is what we say to labor. Is it not what to be talking about?
That agrees. The border was closed for about 7 years, and then smuggling was at the highest within that time. You know, government officials were even the
so
ones.
do we have customs, Kenneth?
Sorry?
We have customs? What's the use of our customs?
Personally, in fact, I always propose that the custom should not be the ones in charge of border protection. Even in Europe, it is not a custom that does border protection. They have border protection as an agency on its own. And if we're going to keep doing border protection by human beings that man border, it is not going to work. It does not work anywhere. When we infuse technology into the border, then you will stop the whole smuggling nonsense.
Okay, so that's fine. We're not against that. But in the meantime, Kenneth, what can the custom do? Go on.
Mary even asked, I said, what then does the custom do? Normally, the custom should be at the ports, taking duties, taking tolls, even at the border, taking duties and tolls and making sure items are paid for before they cross the border, ensuring due process in the border. But for me, if you really want to have a hard border, then there should be a border protection, unit. And that should fall directly under the Department of State Security, because that becomes a national security issue. Now we're talking about goods smuggled in. We're not talking about the arms that are smuggled in. Nobody's talking about,
these are parts of the goods, because when they tell you, for instance, we see over. No, to be fair to customs, sometimes on the news we see them intercepting, smuggler people that are smuggling. They'll tell you maybe it's yam. They'll tell you maybe it's what do you call this furnitures. And a lot of things. And when you open, you see arms, you see drugs, you see.
Princess, sorry to cut you off. I have a friend, OK Ocean Magnet. He does the clearing and forwarding out in One. Princess, up to today, the Nigerian Customs Service uses physical verification to check containers. It is a joke. In Europe, they don't even bother to open your container. The moment you pass their border, there are scanners that will tell you if there is as tiny as a grain of cocaine inside a furniture. And
we have trained dogs, even, Kenneth.
The trained dog is just for us to write exam. They come and scare us while we're writing the exam with red fellas in class.
Really?
Yes.
Trained dogs?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Until custom is restructured to have technology inside it, it will not work. And they are scared of it. They are scared of it because that is where they all make their money. Even Atiku Abubakar, sorry, I'm not hearing politics now. He was a former custom guy. So these guys make billions and billions of naira just holding that position. So the moment you have technology in the customs, then you're going to have a lot of...
There will still be people at the back end.
Well, people will be at the back end. A lot of people can also observe what is happening. It means a lot of people can report on what is really happening.
This is a good thing. This is a good thing about this thing, sir. Kenneth, by the time every aspect of this, our security forces are manned by the press, embarrassing them one way or the other, you find that things will begin to sit up. Don't forget, in this country where we are now, in the UK, people are corrupt too. The only thing is you are free to be corrupt until you are caught. When you are caught, guy, you will not believe it's the same simple society. You will just say, yes, I'm going to prison. You will agree that you are going because there's no miracle. So, and that is the only thing we need, Kenneth. Even those money will not do. Make sure those courts are prosecuted. You understand? They get the treatment, and once you begin to show example of people in prison, in fact, everything will begin to normalize because Nigerians are the most scary people. They don't want to go to prison. No?
You see, Emefiele, while he was going, he carried a big Bible.
Yes, he doesn't want to go.
Yes,
we don't want to. Yes, in fact, I can't wait to visit the Nigerian prison. To be honest, you understand? Because the truth is, by the time you really show one example, and the federal government shows that it's serious, just show Tinubu. Let Tinubu just say, "Hey, stop! Let this thing happen." Well, that's why we're asking for a younger president, somebody that can move around. You understand? You'll be surprised that your president is at your doorstep. Watching what happened. That alone, Kenneth, if Tinubu show up in one ministry unannounced, just that scare alone, you see the country will begin to move around. We know sometimes police stop crime, they detect crime. They don't readily stop the crime.
I remember that's true. I remember when Eyo Ita was the head of civil service.
Civil service, yeah.
And she showed up at that Vigo Square unannounced in the morning. I think around 8:30 or to 9. And my colleague of mine already was there. I think they just told few trustable journalists that are covering the beats, not all of them, to be there. And they went there and they bashed into all the ministries. You could see that there was no single human being around 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Good.
And the next day you needed to see, and when they went there around 7 o'clock, everywhere was filled up.
That's it. You understand? And that's why when we say a younger person, it's actually Baba can be enjoying now. You understand? At this particular age, even I can't be taking certain things. To be fair, because I don't want to wake up in the morning. This wake up, you guys are waking me with your wake up. So. It's because nobody's here to support patients. I don't want to do this. You understand? At the point in time, you want to wake up at a convenient time. Wake up in the morning, drink warm water. Now, I'm not like you guys now. So Baba should be drinking warm water and resting rather than go. The job of the president.
He has very young.
You are right.
He has a lot of young people assisting him.
No. You see, it's not him, Kenneth. It's not him. If Baba can show one example, one, maybe on the day of election, Baba just appears somewhere. Only you see for the purpose of deterring crime. You don't want to stop all the crime. Now you want to put everybody in prison. The wise thing to do is to do things that will make people not to commit the crime.
Sure.
And another thing is people, another thing is the judiciary. Because in as much as we say the president should work, the judiciary too, I know, okay, most time the judiciary is being controlled by the presidency. If not, you could see cases, even what is glaring that this is the case, and you see adjournment, you see, I don't know what they do that for.
We're looking for money now. How do we feel? No, those of us
fair enough to this administration, even the previous administration had already signed a bill, granting autonomy to the judiciary. So the judiciary is very, very autonomous. They can make
their own. Are they really autonomous? That's the question.
They are autonomous.
It is what they said, but it's
they are autonomous. But I think one thing we also need to ask is the technicality of the law in Nigeria. There are a lot of technicalities in the Nigerian constitution that can impair trials. You could see even with MFL, you see how his lawyers didn't even want to get to trial. They kept on proposing. They kept on, running around and around and around to make sure that they don't get judgment. And at the end of the day, they now have to file a fundamental human rights suit. Say, hey, this guy's been here for so they can you release him and let him go? And so for me, the judiciary is autonomous, but then we need the right people in the first place in the judiciary. You need to ask, how do lawyers get up to the to become judges in Nigeria? How did they even progress to become? So there are a lot of political, activation for them to even get there. So you will not be able to remove that in Nigeria until we have an independent judiciary, not by court cases, but by the selection of judges that get to that level. Then you can see some difference in the judiciary.
I think it
still boils down to the judiciary discipline themselves. You understand? Perhaps this one, because by the time one of the judges gets the treatment for malpractice, you understand? You see, every one of them will sit up. And this is where the presidency, you see, there's a term called check and balance. You understand? If the legislature can see that they can fault this thing, because the judiciary is always the one deciding their cases, you cannot say, hey, that judge is doing this. They make a law. They can actually summon a judge. They can do a lot of things. There's check and balance. Then the presidency, of course, the executive, they are there. They control the money most of the time, so they have more power. So without checks and balances, there cannot be democracy. What we're practicing right now is we just need checks and balances. But the core issue is there should be sanctions and motivations for our actions. You understand? That will correct us. Because judges misbehave because they know they get away with
it.
Our prime minister here, you can misbehave, but they know that one day they will bring out one news. I see these people, our people here are very demonic. Now they watch the day the prime minister will come, they will celebrate. Oh, the new prime minister is going into office. Watch in the next 2 months, they are watching him, looking for one mistake. And when they get that guy is out. Today, somebody, the Home Secretary just made this
made a
statement.
statement, and it has been all over the news since yesterday.
And she's gonna go. She's gonna go.
Statement she did not.
It's always like that in Europe. Yeah.
She's gonna go. There's no other way. You see, you until you open your mouth and do the wrong thing, and the press carry it. See now, I told the priest, I said that woman, that one, I was so scared of her because those people will talk and talk and talk and talk until that matter. The press don't have any job, but because they repeat their news 24/7. You understand? Go to BBC now. They will say the same news again and again. At the point, it will sink into your head. You understand? So if somebody continue to carry your matter again and again, that's why I say, oh God, the press, we need the press. You understand? Sometimes Nigeria don't understand. If had it been when we don't have NTA is not a news base. You understand? Like Arise and CNN and the channels, they should be protected because Arise is the only body that I think can sing a national anthem on one stupid issue, and the matter will become a national issue. The only matter that become national issue are the one the press are interested in. So we make sure the press are independent to ring one bell. This man passed here yesterday. He passed here yesterday. He passed here yesterday. Before we know, everybody begins to say, yes, he passed here yesterday. And then we want to know why he passed there. See, this is the only way. And when something becomes, once government is embarrassed, they begin to act. So you see how many checks and balances we have in the society. So if that one is in place and there's action, honestly, all these customs we're saying that are getting away with things. Who is a custom? When we have people to check the customs, bring technology of the world to Nigeria? It will still fail.
I think customs really need to be sanitized. You know that's one fear we have, especially if you're into car business. Importing, yes. You see how it is because the moment your demurrage start counting and you are not able to pay within how many months or weeks, your car is gone. And I've seen customs friends in Abuja. Sometimes they'll tell you, with the offshore car, you won't buy a car. And before you know, and sometimes too, do you know, Chukunum, so you people know him, he was on the show, the other morning show. He went to carry a car. I think the friend went to carry a car from Lagos, a driver, dealer. And as he was coming somewhere in Kogi, he was heard, this car is not properly cleared and all that. And instead of them to negotiate, they had to seize the car. They were telling the guy, you will call the owner. It was late. They had to drive, and before the guy could look for means of transportation to go to the state command and all that. Till tomorrow, they didn't find the car. They started saying story. The car has been impounded. There's nothing you can do. The car was not.
Was it impounded or was it stolen? Because it's different.
But it was still the customs officer that actually went away with the car. And at the end of the day, they are now saying that the car is not properly cleared. You should go back to Lagos. They started tossing the guy left and right. And Chukun also actually called me that, babes, I know you do a lot of clearing on daily basis. Can you help us? And what is the issue? We actually delved into the issue, and before you know, the matter was far gone. The car was nowhere to be found, and even the custom officers, they started accusing each other here and there, and it was really a very disgraceful act. In fact, it was a serious issue, and that's why you see that most times, even Nigerian customs are very, very. In fact, they need to sanitize them. Sometimes when you're very corrupt. Sometimes when you're coming from, that is why I don't follow my dealers. If you go to Lagos and you're coming back, do you know my dealer used to do something? He will say, Kes, give me money. He will change money. In Lagos, he used to go to the bank and change bond as if he wants to go to party. I'm like, why? He said, don't worry. I know police will always collect from you. We'll go drink or we'll wash the car. And that's one thing I love about the Nigerian army, to be sincere. I have never gone with my dealer to pick any of my cars, and you see the Nigerian army telling you, wash the car. No, the only thing they would do, so what we do is that we buy bread, we buy water. So when we get to army checkpoints, we give them water, we give them bread, or we give them anything, food they can eat there. Meanwhile, we don't even offer them money, and they are happy with you. They just, if any need to check, and they tell you go. But Nigerian custom, no, you not clear this car very well. This and this, they are going to settle us now.
Have you seen Nigerian police? Oh God. The Nigerian police and the custom, they are trained to be corrupt. Maybe they are not even trained. They're not even trained.
The police is even more understanding if you use what Princess is telling you now. When it comes to goods, the police is even more accommodating.
Because in the first place, should the police will be looking at it?
No, but no, they
It's not
should know. But even the police will tell no, we are washing it. You can't tell us you bought it
No, but
and
the police
tell
collect
us you
money.
don't have money for what?
That's
Park
just
the car. Park the car. Be like saying you won't stay here reach night. You go stay here with us. Those kind of and you know that at the end of the day, these dealers, and that is why they charge you if you send them to go and pick a car for you. They will charge you very well because they will have to pay at every given checkpoint until they bring the car to you. The last time I had to tell my landlord, if my dealer bring the car, hold the car, I'm going to off my phone because this guy is for I didn't sleep over the night. They used to come at night. He will call you, they are seizing the car, princess, they are seizing the car, I'll send money. And even some of these dealers are doing it. So what we do is that you switch off your phone, bring the car, you've been paid for that services. And then I've been there, and Nigeria Customs, sometimes they will. The last time I went to carry my mother's car, they had to drive the car that night around 2 a.m. We're coming from Lagos to Warri, so they took the car, they drove it. That this clearing is, they will start using languages a layman will not understand.
I understand it.
And who cleared this car for me?
It's not there.
It's your custom people.
Mhm.
So and I started making trouble. So my friend said, let's just leave them. The driver. They drove down. Do you know that night I was so exhausted? My leg was hurting. I was so exhausted. We had to pay. If I tell you how much we pay, and my friend now say, okay, now this is what we do. It's not going to stop for them again. And I say, no, maybe they not shoot me. I beg. So if you know Nigerian Customs, the whole system needs to be sanitized. Like what can I say?
No. In fact, I think every people on the road, every authority on the road in Nigeria need to be sanitized. Have you seen where in those days the most reliable one were the road safety? At a point in time, they become so annoying. I was driving with my younger boy, brother, because and the boy said it doesn't stop for them. I said no, you will stop. You understand? I'm in the car. No, I know that was not scared. It's a matter of law. You understand? So because I'm in the car, but you know what happened? I'm driving from my village to Saple, and then they stopped. I was at the back of the car. So they will look. I say, officer, how are you? Say, good morning. Can we go? You understand? Can we park? I say, park for what, sir? You understand? Then sometimes when I say park, I say park. You understand? I really want them to do their job. But when they misbehave, I say, this is why my younger one didn't want to stop for you. Now we are going to shoot. You understand? So I was telling them that now we're going to intentionally disobey you, not the law. Because it's you now that I'm disobeying. That's what I said. I am going to disobey you, not the law now, because you are out of order. You see, you understand the process. So even as mature as I was, they were still misbehaving. So because they see the young boy, he's a Yahoo boy immediately.
And that's one thing in the South.
I'm talking about the amount of disrespect.
Disrespect, and that is how they disrespect people, everybody in Delta, in Benin, Owerri, maybe Port Harcourt. Once you are well dressed, or maybe you're driving a big car, you're a Yahoo boy, you're this, and then they tag everybody, even reasonable people. They had a banker I know for hours. How did you get this car? How did you get this car? Like, I don't get it. Do you understand? So I think the whole let's even start from customs first. Let's sanitize Nigerian customs, and then we'll know that we're making headways. Anyway, we'll move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that will be the Guardian newspaper.
And here the big story says the renewed hope agenda, political class at profligates best as citizens languish. You can find that story on page 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. And here another headline says, passengers stranded as labor union picket airports Kayamos films. Now you can find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another headline that says, importers to pay more as custom reverse rates to 783 per dollar amid 70% decline. You can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says, UBA, Saudi Exim Bank, partner on business relation export growth. You can find that story on page 19 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And here we have another story that says, decision day in Imo, Bayelsa, Kogi, INEC affirms readiness, DHQ uncovers plot to cause mayhem. You can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says reps someone FIRS. Others moves to check powers of CBN governors. You can find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says election litigation over. Real governance should commence. You can find that story on page 12 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says NEITI reviews Federation account received 14.4 trillion naira in 2 years. You can find that story on page 18 of the Guardian newspaper. And these are all the stories we have this morning on the Guardian newspaper.
Kenneth said something like this a while ago that, you know, I don't know what to make of this news here. Importers to pay more as customs reverses rates on 783 per dollar amid 70% decline.
Well, you see, Princess, definitely, like I said earlier, importers are crying. You understand? Because they are not going to pay more. But I think the sweet thing there is there's 70% decline in importation, and you could relate that to the high rate of the dollar in the black market. So I think what we're seeing now is the fact that probably the CBN is trying to step into the game now. Now that the CBN has some dollars being received and everything, they will be able to release more dollars for importers. But still, at that, importers are still paying more. Yeah, customers might revise their rates to say, okay, we're calculating import duties at $7.80 but how much exactly are the importers getting this dollar to import the goods? I think that's another big question that we need to ask.
Importers pay more or they pay less, Kenneth? That's what I don't know.
They are going to pay more because before now, customs official rate was never at 780 something. It used to be it was at 600 and something.
Good.
A dollar. That was, of course, the Buhari's official rate.
Yes.
For dollar. But now we've seen that the official rate has been raised to 781 a dollar. But for me, it is not even about the official rate. Everything on dollar in Nigeria is done unofficially. So until we see, the CBN governor's policy in sanitizing the banking sector, I believe if it was possible for an importer to import goods and the CBN pays directly for those goods, you will cut down a lot of shady dealings in importation. What we have now, sir, is the fact that a lot of people come up as importers. They raise importation order and then they go to CBN. They get maybe about $2 million, $3 million, and then they go back to the black market and they sell it to the real importers in Alaba, Anambra, in Aba, that will now buy from them and find a way to now send down to China or to Vietnam and pay for their goods.
Anyway, the policy, that's a monetary business. It's a difficult one. In fact, the rest of the world are now saying, hey, we don't even want to be changing dollars. You understand? Because if I am going to buy things in China, why am I not trading with Chinese?
China, thank you.
Why not? Why do I have to change dollar first to go to China? You understand? Or if I'm going to buy something in the UK, why don't I just use pounds and naira? You understand? But the Americans are stronger than everybody. May God be with them. God loves America. Anyway, what can I? This is a very big trouble we have in our time. Like I keep saying, I reason why I cannot tell why the exchange rate is always different from the black market, giving some people undue advantages. That's why you see the country is where it is. So if I want to go and buy goods, I cannot just go to my bank, buy my dollar, go and buy my goods and bring it back. So I have to go and buy at a stupid rate, an unbelievable rate, which the government is not aware of. But the government is aware of it. They call it the black market. And I don't like the word black market. This is the same thing the white people use on us. They use anything black on us. You understand? I hate when they say things black, then we are black people. I would say black market is for something bad. Now, they're going to be Black Friday. We don't ask what the meaning of Black Friday. Can we use that word, that black market? Can we change it as Africans? Do you call it whatever market it is, you understand? If we call it an unofficial market, it will make sense. But the black market, you say, you are black. Kenneth, are you really black?
I'm not black.
See, and the white man you see, they say he's white. Is he white? Is
Not
that
at all.
don't you know white?
Not at all.
You are wearing white now, Ken. Is that
Not
the
at
color
all.
of your skin?
I've never seen any human being with this color in my life.
And
If
that's
I see somebody with this color, I'll rather see the ghost.
white is there. So what I'm saying is that I don't like the word black market. Maybe that is where the mentality, and so many things we accept. Is this unofficial market now? The unofficial rate is illegal. You understand? Unofficial rate is illegal. It should be addressed. You understand? It will help to in fact, the importers will remain importers. We need some importers in the country to bring in goods we cannot produce at this moment. Even no matter what you do, there's no country that does not import goods. But the question is to control the ones you can produce. You understand? So,
like this, I'll add another thing. You see, most times I also make this submission that we have Minister of Trade, Investment. Why is Nigeria not signing trade deals with other part of the world? You go to the news, you see UK just signed a trade deal with social country about $15 billion, signed a trade deal with this. What that stipulates is probably money is in escrow. So the people that buy goods from this country can now pay with their own currency. Until we see Nigerian trade and investment ministers travel to the world, since we are having constant market with China, with other established people, because okay, you know what, buy and then let's pay you in naira to the official rate of the yen to the naira. I don't see the reason why the dollar, and I keep saying this, we're a naira economy that is being, in fact, we've been dollarified, whatever language I can use to describe that. The dollar runs the naira economy, and it's a pity, it's a shame, because the average Nigerian thinks towards the dollar. You want to go and buy fruit and Galadima Junction, they'll tell you, dollar don't add money. What is the problem with the dollar and your orange you are selling in Galadima?
Everything.
You understand? You enter a taxi, you don't have change. You say, why don't you have change? There's no dollar in the country. Is the dollar 100 naira change that you don't have? No. We need to first of all sanitize. We need to sanitize our mindset from dollar. We're in a naira economy. I don't see why Nigeria cannot buy goods from China and exchange the yen and the naira. If there's a need to now back it up with maybe an international money, money that is accepted globally like a dollar, that cannot be a deal between the Nigerian government and the Chinese government. Okay, we've bought goods in the escrow. We'll be able to buy goods of 60 billion naira in this month. What is the exchange rate? It is now this to this. Fine, we're transferring that money. If you do that, the black, whatever market they want to call it, in fact, sir, I'll bring your word now. I won't use that word black market. I think
it's unofficial market. Unofficial.
So whatever market they want to go and source the money from, let the government pay for the goods themselves. If you do that,
I think you said the big word. Why can't we have the Minister of Trade signing a deal?
What is your job actually?
The fact that is supposed to be the job to help us be able to move into foreign market, which is not. The funniest thing, Princess, I did the event here, the Nigerian week we did. Do you know Nigerian goods can't even get into London?
Because I was going to go to your event actually. Yes. That's what I'm asking.
Very, very important.
And so if they are not able to do that, and then an individual is trying to organize something that will not bring them on board to be relevant, why they did not,
normally they're going to speak big grammar. The directors there, they're looking for money to make, they want to be important, you understand? And it's a shame. But what I'm really talking about is if we done to Princess, if you see, because of my experience in Europe, that's why all I do now is try to see whether we can negotiate deals with Nigeria. Something the government is supposed to be doing. Do you know Nigeria doesn't have a co-production in the movie industry deal with any part of the world? You understand? They now try to sign one with South Africa. Can you imagine Nigeria signing co-production with South Africa? That is big news. And Africa to Africa, they're signing big deal. I had a project here to shoot. The project was meant to be shot between Brazil and New York. So when they saw me editing my film in central London, they said, oh, we would like to convert this story to be made between London and Lagos. And I said, maybe not Lagos, I cannot move it to Delta, Ruboma. So as we were negotiating, then they were not looking for money from you. But for them to raise the money, they have to be co-production deal between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. It was not existing. So the money, they cannot raise the money if there's no co-production treaty. This is what we call treaties. You understand? So they have to go to France, add another France country. They now ask me to add South Africa to the business. So a production I want to bring to Nigeria, I'm now looking for countries that have signed co-production deals in order for us to be able to access the money made that is in Europe for us. That's how bad it is. So what are you saying now, Kenneth? If, for instance, we have a co-production, a trade deal with China, what will happen is the exchange rate. Will be, not only that, even the goods we are bringing in will be coming in at a lower custom rate as well.
Yeah.
You understand? Because there's now understanding that these goods can happen between these two countries. So the whole tartary and all the nonsense there would be out of the game. Goods will now move freely because the excess of goods, in fact, you can then even eliminate the dollars. Why do we need dollar? The excess of money, Kenneth, is it not to exchange goods?
Exchange.
Of course.
So if I have something to give to you, you have something to give to me. Do I need to take the trade by barter? We can now even go by trade by barter. If there's anything Nigeria is giving to you, take our oil. Bring.
We could even exchange with oil. Thank you. And then the oil becomes our market. You understand?
You understand? So, and these are little things, but unfortunately, we see.
I'm not surprised because that ministry is one ministry or agency that I see
Very important. Very important.
Very important, yet
but they
can't feel their impact on us as a people, as a nation.
Yes. And in fact, everything we're going to do, you need that trade and investment to be able to because without them, it's only yourself you want to do without foreign affairs. Without foreign affairs, you can't do anything international. You understand? You need them. There's a level they operate. You understand? And they are respected though, because they run the embassies. You understand? Whether we like it or not, I carry Nigerian passport. So there's respect for authorities.
Anyway, let's move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that will be the Nigerian Tribune. These are some of the stories we have. The main headline here says Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa elections. Military police warn troublemakers. And the rider says DSS cautions against inflammatory statements. ICPC deploys operatives, threatens clampdown on electoral corruption. Deliver flawless election in Imo Southeast. Traditional rulers, religious leaders tackle INEC. All the stories are on page 2 and 8.
Tax INEC or the tackle?
Tax INEC.
Please.
I beg your pardon, tax INEC. And all the stories are on page 2 and 8 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We have another story here that says Alafin stew. Again, Oyo Misi in court files fresh suits against Makinde others on page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We also saw a story here that says Russian-Ukraine war affecting Nigerians' crude oil inflows. And that's coming from NNPCL on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We also saw a story here that says MTEF. Sean Senate invitation, lose your job. Akpabio tells appointees. And that story is on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. As well as a story here that says Ayonku, Adebanjo, Idika, Kalu, others reject review of 1999 constitution. Okay. Wants Tinubu to restructure country. And that story is on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. There's a story here as well that says Nigerian has highest cement price in the world, and that's coming from producers. That story is on page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Mary, how much is cement today? Do you have any idea?
Cement, no,
the last time I checked, it was about officially. Now the Greece has changed my tongue. When I have unofficial, I would have said the black market, but
no, please. Thank you.
Officially, it's supposed to be 3,005, for Bua, and probably 2,000 something for Dangote. But unofficially, Princess, it is still at 4,000 plus in most stores. You have 4,200, you have 4,004.
And that means it's actually coming down. The last time we bought it was 5,000 something. So that means it's coming down.
The last price, of course, is coming down, but I don't think it's anywhere close to say it has come down.
No. If I bought for 5,006, 5,005, and it's now 4,002, that means that it's actually coming down, and it's a good thing. But I'm surprised that as of today, Nigeria has the highest cement price in the world. We actually enrich people, and people are still building.
No, but
Well,
Yeah, it's
Vincent,
about
well, you can only do that about Nigerians. You
what do we
know,
need to manufacture cement?
I don't get it.
No, the question is what are the chemicals needed? Of all, are you telling me that we cannot produce cement? We are producing cement, right?
and it means 100% of everything needed to produce cement is in Nigeria. The limestone is in Nigeria.
Because if you are, I've traveled by road to my state, and if you go to Obila, where the production is being made at Boa Cement, now you will see one big, I don't know how you call it, one mighty something across the road that is inside the bush. It's like a rail track, but it's used to transport, how do you call that stone? There's a stone.
Limestone.
And so it's very long, and you could see that this place is a production place. So why are we selling at that rate, and why are we the most highest, I don't understand, in the world?
No, maybe perhaps
Are we not producing it ourselves?
we should be
Kenneth?
encouraging more production of it.
We're producing, like Chris, you said it, or even the header says, the tax federal government of inclusion of new players. The truth is, when we had Ibeto, when we had Ego, in the market, there was fifth competition. They of course, the usual excuse from Dangote and Bua is just that they use, an enormous amount of diesel because there's no light. So for that reason, they spend, very huge amount of money powering their plants and everything. But for me, I think it's a joke. It is a joke because this is the only, in fact, not the only, this is one of the things we produce in Nigeria that you don't even import, not even a drop of a chemical to produce it. It's limestone, you crush it, it goes through some process. There is nothing imported to produce cement. It is here. In fact, cement should be free from federal government if they want to construct road. I've always said that. Until the Nigerian government starts to add some strong fees in the things they do, we are robbing ourselves. How can we have stone, you have the limestone, and then you want to construct a road? You are now adding the cost of cement to the construction of a road. Wow, that is a huge joke. If the federal government can grab power generation, they should also grab cement generation as part of their.
What I want to see is, I want to ask you young people here. I really want to ask, maybe it's me that lives in the old time. You understand? You get the modern philosophy or the school of thought that it's better when government don't get involved in business. Right? That's the selling school of thought, so condemning sociology. The social society. My problem is this: if the government now know that we need cement, we're not producing enough quantity, and they now decide to set up cement. We have ministries, all right? These things cannot be rocket science at all. We have university, so there's a way it can be put together for Nigeria to start manufacturing cement, creating jobs in the first place, and making money for the government and the people. Why are we not engaging in all those things? In fact, why are we looking the agricultural sector for only peasant people who cannot run it? The only reason why we say rice is not available is because the federal government refused to declare it or invest in it properly, not leaving people to come and do it alone. Do you understand? How about the federal government working with the people to make this happen? For instance, now, like I said, if you say every local government, they are collecting money every month. If this is what you're collecting, I'm going to add maybe 2 billion to all your allocation yearly. With this one, you go into this. Whatever you produce, we want to, because I'm the federal government, I'm giving you a job to do. Why are we not engaging we have all I'm not talking of the ministries now, I'm even looking at the local government. And the local government can then work with the people, the local people, to produce things. All this production we're talking about that are not available, that we are going to China, to Vietnam, to go and bring in. You'll be surprised that a local government might actually choose to do production of cement. If cement is in my backyard, like Okula people now, and maybe there are other areas where you have some deposits that can produce cement, you'll be surprised and say, okay, the federal government is selling this. I want to, in my local government, or with my 3 local governments, I decide to come together, let us produce cement. You can decide to put your money together. If 3 local governments have, say, your 2 billion is not enough, maybe 6 billion is enough to go into that. You'll be surprised that 3 local governments say, okay, let us do this. That becomes, and then we account for the money you're giving to them. I'm sure the federal government will be making money, more jobs will be created, will be dependent on our own goods as well. I don't understand why you people. I'm asking now. I'm making my case. Why are you people not in favor of that?
That increase, you see, the reason why it will not work, even if you want to do it, is because we run a federal government of Nigeria. We're not running a United States of Nigeria. The moment Nigeria is restructured for each state to be independent of their resources, that increase, there is no way the Delta state government will watch you and you bring Bua to come and take their cement and pay tax to the federal government, and even the citizens of Delta cannot buy that cement. They will do everything to take that business themselves, do it themselves, make all the billions. Have you watched how much Dangote declares in profit for cement? Have you ever watched the annual returns for Bua when it comes to cement? This is in hundreds of billions of naira. If that money alone is coming as a profit to the government of the state governments where those things are happening, that is, some of the states in Nigeria will be better than Dubai. But the problem we have, sir, is because the federal government wants to be there, but they are not there. You understand? They want it is us. We will give you the license to go and mine cement. We will give you the license to go and drill oil. But you cannot step into the oil business. You can't even step into the cement business. So
how can you do it in Abuja?
You understand?
The government can even do it in Abuja. If but they have what I just said now. But if the federal government even want to operate as it is now, why are they not working with the authorities locally? You understand? Okay, I cannot be in every local government. We have 774 or so local governments in Nigeria. That is a lot of business opportunity for a government to say, okay, I am going to borrow money. This is where it's okay to even take a loan. This loan is for this. You understand? But this money is coming to every single one of you. 5 billion. So you are coming to work. You're not coming there to go and sit down and wait for allocation. The truth is, the federal government will be asking every day what you do with our money. And by the time, you see, this is what the government will do. If you are not doing something good with the money, it will be taken from you. In fact, your people will put you out. In that way, people can see the use of our local governments. Now, Princess, can you imagine? They are now fighting for new local governments in Delta State. They're going to be an election. Just people will go there and stay for 4 years, 3 years, I think it's 3 years, and then go.
Well, I'm quite surprised that Nigeria has the highest cement price in the world. It's still shocking to me, actually. And there's one news here, Kenneth. I really want you to throw your weight on. That says MTEF, Sean Senate invitation, lose your job, Akpabio tells Tinubu's appointees. And the writer says, hold ministers, MDAs responsible for delay in passing 2024 budget, reps tell Nigerians. Now, we've been seeing this news across all the headlines this morning, and we've been seeing that Senate recommends sack of MDA heads who shun invitations. Now, we've seen that over the years, that is why I think Nigeria is not moving forward. You will see even before elections, these candidates will be called for a debate or something, peace accord, they will shun it. We saw Uzodimma Akko yesterday. And then we are now seeing that ministers are supposed to come to, defend budgets, something as serious as budgets, they are not turning up. Where do we go from here?
Well, you see, I think what Pabi is putting out is a very, very valid, warning. But then, me, I like being like most guys. I'm partisan, but I'm not. Akpabio was once the minister for Niger Delta, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was.
And he was invited by the then Senate to come and give account of Niger Delta contract. He refused coming. They called him about twice before he came, and then the day he took the podium, the first thing he said was that the Niger Delta contract has been shared to all of them here, that he can call their names. And they said,
I remember that video.
They said off mic. So the reason why this minister
you see the level in the first place. Look at
the reason they have 11 in the first place to shun invitations is because of the complicity of our senators in their dubious acts. That is the truth. Because if a senator, a minister knows that there is no senator in this cabinet, in this assembly, that has requested for him to insert one community project one way or the other for him, if you call him to come and answer, he will run and come. But the reason they even invite the senators, sir, if I can tell you, the reason the senators invite most of these MDS is to come and bully them and put them on the front of the camera efficient, and then they come behind and say, hey, you know what, are you going to put this thing or not? Let us remember the case of Farouk Lawan. He was then a House of Rep, chairman on downstream. He went to Femi Otedola's house to go and collect bribe, about $90-something thousand. Unknown to him, Otedola had already installed cameras in his house, and it captured him, taking bribe from him in order to stop. But before that, he had already, there have been series of invitations to Otedola, come and tell us what you're doing with our subsidy money, this and that. So I am not in support of the MDA shunning this, but I'm telling you, if we want to stop it, then we need to do one thing: remove community projects from the budget. Senators should stop putting community projects in the budget. The House of Representative members should stop putting constituency. They call it constituency project. They should start putting constituency project in the constituency projects in the budget. They will tell you they're doing it to help their people. That decrease, most of those projects are never done anywhere in Nigeria. If you want
in my area, Kenneth, what we see in my area, they do electric street lights. That is what they do. They put street lights, and that is when they go to Abuja, his job is to come and put street lights, and we clapping for them. Kenneth, we clapping for people coming to put street lights. God bless you, Kenneth, for that analysis. Really so the truth is, you see now, this is the shameful thing. Kenneth just gave us a beautiful.
The hunter is being hunted.
If you are pure, or if the system is clean, who are you really a member of? A senator
that we resist the lawmakers.
That we there, but because he will say, like Akpabio will say, all of you here, now share the money with me.
And the off mic.
There's an off mic.
And we saw that video, and for you to know that Nigeria, of course, is a lawless country. Up till now, nothing was actually done about it because they were all part of it. Akpabio is now one controlling the House as the Senate president.
Okay, so
you see how Nigeria is as a country.
So he should not be the one to even open his mouth now. That is what
he has no leverage to say anything. He has
no moral integrity to
come and say yes. Shun invitation and lose your job.
When you
did as well. And
actually Kennedy is saying that the truth is they are coming there to build community project and say, hey, where's our own? Anything they do, they must bring the lawmakers home first. I'm sure that's why I will not. We fought the legislature just. I mean the judiciary. Where is the judiciary? They have to look for a way to eat as well. You understand? So the only way is when the case comes to them, they bully people there. Because all you can do is bulletin, postpone.
That is ICPC. ICPC is only shouting to them the papers about Imo State election and vote by him. But ICPC, by their mandate, is an independent corrupt practices commission. They should be the ones even fighting for these ministers. Because these are independently done crimes. They are not crimes sponsored by state. These are individual interests. Hey, put this in the budget for me. If ICPC was up to the task, this is a way to operate a sting operation to catch all the senators involved in these things, in this racketeering.
It's shameful. It's very shameful. Anyway, we'll go on a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back from that quick break. And just before we move from the Nigerian Tribune, there is a story here that says Ayenku Adebanjo Idika Kalu, others reject review of 1999 Constitution, wants Tinubu to restructure country. Daddy Chris.
Well, the issue of restructuring, Tinubu, I thought Tinubu was the one to give us a restructured Nigeria. He will?
He will.
The spokesman has spoken.
The first time ever in Nigeria, I say with fact, the first person that ever talked about restructuring of Nigeria is Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
And that was
No.
Atiku.
No,
it
no,
was,
no.
in fact,
Atiku
Goodluck had it almost done. You know, that centenary, those two places where they went there, they rewrote the constitution, you understand? That's something that would have changed Nigeria.
I'm talking about the call.
Okay.
Tinubu, remember, Tinubu was once the leader of the Odua People's Congress, right? He was one of the people that propagated OPC. You know, these are the people that fought and said, hey, we need to restructure Nigeria. We need to go back to true federalism. So I believe that the man is there by divine mandate. So one way or the other, he's going to restructure this country carefully. Because the truth is, it's not even about restructuring Nigeria. You need to do it carefully. If you don't do it carefully, a lot of ethnic tension.
Kenneth, you see, the thing when you people say restructure Nigeria, they look at the political thing alone. You know, if I'm the president, I will not even go into the politics of it. I will begin to distribute the resources as I said now. This is what I do. The state, they say they are the only reason they are fighting for a restructure Nigeria is that they are not in control of so many things. So I will make them to work. Engage the state, let them work. Engage the local government, like I explained. You understand? Let them work. Take loan for them. You understand? To work. You see, by the time everybody is working, there will be no clamoring. The restructure has already taken place. Because as it is now, we have 36 states. If the 36 states are working, producing, you understand? Your job is take this money. Thanks to this man, Peter Obi. Sorry, Kenneth. It's still our man. That's why I got into a scene. He said it's going to change from revenue allocation to production allocation. Give them something to produce. You understand? You've already restructured Nigeria. The only reason we are talking of restructure Nigeria is not to get new governors. It's to get these places to work. Kenneth, we have 36 states. I said before, Cotonou, Benin Republic should be 2 states, divide them into 2, part of us. You understand? If people see the good in Nigeria, they will want to even join us. We will not be the one telling them. You understand? They want to join Nigeria. But you know what to do? By allocating resources. Not resources, allocating production to them. Imagine if Delta State is producing, Edo State is producing, and Kwara is producing. Don't come to me for money. I'm going to take loan for you. Produce. Run an economy of your place. Do you understand? It's even better as it is now. Let us have the federal controlling them. But give them money to produce. If every state in Nigeria begin to produce, and the state now will in turn begin to force their local government to produce, imagine what we'll get.
Not local government. We don't even know. Women breaking melons, selling hair, making hair at the local government.
Princess.
What is that?
You see, like I said, Nigeria want to go. So that's the Igbo man style. They want to bring as low as even t-shirts. You understand? Something we can produce today in Nigeria. You understand? The whole thing is happening because it's only individuals that are not struggling to do the little productions we have. I'm saying it is a wrong approach. I'm not saying that I'm not even saying that it should be government overtaking or taking up. But you know what to do? Make sure every state, the restructure we're talking of, is too much grammar Nigeria. Get every state to produce. You know what you give them? I will personally guarantee the loan as the federal government of Nigeria. The loan I'm going to take is not to pay, Nigeria will take loan to pay salaries.
Next month, they take another one.
Take
We
serious loan.
that even state government are now borrowing from local banks to pay salary.
Can you imagine?
What becomes of them tomorrow?
Princess, can you imagine now?
You want to shut down the banks as well?
Okay,
and then my own money I kept in the bank, you borrow it and go and pay workers.
That is a poor people thinking even. If we really want to get out of this, if the federal government go and take a loan, 10 billion, or maybe that the such a way that every state have some huge amount of billions given to them, beginning of the year, I will still be supporting them monthly on the first few months. I'm going to continue to use our oil money to feed you guys for 6 months. After 6 months, you will declare. I will still give the allocation for 6 months, what I'm giving to them now. But the loan I'm taking is an international loan, which the federal government will know, every country, everybody will know, and how it is distributed. Now, you will tell Nigeria, you are a governor, you will tell Nigeria what you want to produce in your state. And now you will control it. All we want to see is results. And I'm at the federal level here watching you. you will be surprised what Nigeria will produce in 6 months. And so what I'm trying to say is that I don't want to hear restructure Nigeria politically, restructure Nigeria economically.
Chris, you have a very big point.
Yes.
I agree with everything you have said. But let me also remind you that Nigeria has already been on the process of being restructured throughout the APC's administration. Realistically, sir, we had Mohamed Buhari sign, a bill to say, hey, states, you can go generate your own power, distribute your own power, make money from your own power. Nobody's talking about that. We had them sign a bill, say autonomy for the local government.
Look at, but that is even cheap. Can I again? That is again. That's still a government.
It's not to the state governors. I'm relating this to what the Chris has said now. That Chris, if a state government can come up and say, we want to go to the International Monetary Fund or whatever, or Exim Bank or one bank like that internationally to give us a loan of $20 billion. We want to build a world-class facility that can power our state and 2 other states that can pay us for power. Is that state not going to be so rich in a few months or they're about to come? You understand?
But the states
so
are taking loan.
Want to blame the federal
government was taking
loan. Defense of the state government.
No, Kenneth, to be fair, what we have in Nigeria today, because of our immature, because of our wicked governors, which we can see now, I'm even afraid to have a clear, what we call a restructured Nigeria where the states are completely independent. Because we can see the activities of the governor now. The ones given to them, you see what they're doing. I will say, change one language. I will not give you money to go and feed. I'll give you money to go and feed yourself.
Thank you.
We don't have the money now. We, as a country, we will take a loan for you. You understand? But you will feed yourself. Don't worry. In the first 1 year, your allocation is still coming. Thank God we still have oil to pay the debt. I will be servicing your debt with our oil money and giving the rest for you to feed. But after 1 year,
you're on your own.
Alternatively, what Kenneth is saying is, even the states, to be fair, now that the federal government is not doing this, the question I ask the state governor, why are you not doing it? You understand? Federal government is taking a piece.
But
can the state governor really?
Ken, we know that the ex-president Muhammadu Buhari did, kudos to him, did approve that autonomy be granted to local government. But has that been implemented?
The president has been signed, assented by law. It is now law that local governments have autonomy. In fact, the money they pay to them go directly to the local government account.
No, it doesn't.
I've not seen any states and any local government.
Let me tell you what the state government do.
31 states.
Daddy, look at what they do. That is why I said the governors most times are the wicked people who have in Nigeria, like you said. What they do is they come in, they put in, TCs, temporary, just temporary chairman, and for that reason, they are now legally. You see the legal technicality of the law. They are now they are now the custodian of the local government account, because whoever is there is not elected, so they cannot even control the money because nobody has put them there. They are just appointees of the governor to stay there. Now the governor will tell you most times they will of course say, there's crisis in the local government. We're here to sort things out. We want to do an election. For the time being, those temporary, chairmen that they put there will just be accountable to them. So for that reason, the money comes to the governor. When they eventually make elections, they make sure that it is their own party that takes up all the local government. So even the chairman in those local governments, they don't even have the power to sit on that money and say what they want to do with that money. I'm yet to see.
They don't even know what to do with it. They have no idea.
I'm yet to see, probably, except Rivers State, where I've seen some local government chairman present a bill, a budget rather for the year. I'm yet to see other local governments in Nigeria
coming out to say, okay, we have this on the table. This is what we would do for the benefits of the people.
You guys are still getting it wrong. You know what my local government did? The chairman and the vice, they put themselves on a note on this note.
Notebook
That
and
they share,
pencil and
that's
biro,
what
and
they
they now
say.
be giving to
And
students.
that's, they want to just be popular. You understand? And you know what is so
And
simple?
maybe, and that is the point. So maybe because they don't have job to do, and so they're just trying to be
princess,
relevant.
because we are still in the era of allocation of revenue.
Thank you.
The federal government is still, Buhari was fair enough to sign money to them. We should not be signing money to them. Sign them a task. You understand? If you send money to people,
They don't know what to do with
they'll
it.
get married with new wives with it. You understand? That's
And
what they're
buy
doing now.
cars and go to bars.
Any reasonable person that really go, I want to empower my people. So what I can do is, the schools are not good though. The children are sleeping on the floor. You see, what you want to give to them is notebooks. A family can buy notebook. Okay, provide a good environment for school.
And the seats and all that. Then you're buying
collecting. Who even stop local government from collecting school fees? That is the thing I don't understand. I don't believe in free schools. You understand? What I'm saying now is, you know why? The local government are not implementing things. They are not working. Even down to the schools they control. They are not in charge. They are not thinking outside the box because they are not allowed to do business.
Even the local government, they've lost touch with the people. And
no, princess, you know the truth. No, this is what I'm saying now. I didn't think the local government are made to think that you are supposed to raise money by producing things. Then when I say, okay, listen, I have all these primary schools. You know what? I'm going to make primary schools in my community so standard that you will not want to take your own to all these church schools, because it's faith schools now that people go to. You understand? Every church now have a school. Have you seen the latest one? So why would somebody take your child, my child, to you see the one international? Where my daughter going to go to school in Abuja now is the international from they call it British school. They see the standard, British standard.
But they have standard. Let's be sincere.
But can't our local government
have a Nigerian standard?
Because Kenneth, let's be sincere. You know, before now, I've been in that bit, and I used to go and do adverts for schools. I used to cover their activities, and I've been to a lot of British schools in Abuja. And to be sincere, there is a level.
Princess, the question I asked you is,
Princess, I ask Princess one question. On this standard British schools you're talking about, how many of the standard British schools, Princess, have a big football field where people can actually play ball?
They have. For instance, American International School, they have in Durumi.
Princess, it's just a few of them. Most of
hold on, now, Kenneth.
Most of these schools don't even have up to 10 plus of land. That increase every public school in Nigeria has 200 acres of land.
Kenneth, you ask that question and she's going to pick one or two.
How many of these British schools have a farm?
Are they better than?
How many do we have in Abuja? That's the question you should ask.
I'm asking her now. How many of these our British international standard schools have a farm? When I was growing up, the public school we attended had a farm.
Thank you, Kenneth.
How many of these British international schools?
Public
that
school?
is the problem.
Wait, now let me reply you. How many of these government schools as of today are still going to farm?
Kenneth,
so that is what we're talking about. If you revive the public schools, these our international British schools will not compete with our public schools.
Kenneth, hold on. You just as if, for instance, I'm in school and I have been there. I have a child. The child has been in school, and we keep having this ASU battle left and right. A child that is supposed to graduate maybe 4 years is not there for 5-6 years. And then maybe you have the money, you think you would not want to take them to a private school where they just run through the session.
Princess, I'm not blaming.
There's somebody. Do you think it's the same thing when, for instance, you are not feeling well in Nigeria and you go to a hospital, you are getting more diseases, or you are not being treated, so you have the money. Will you not fly somewhere?
Yes, Kenneth.
It's simple.
Princess, nobody agreed that.
That's the logic.
Understand this first. What I'm saying now is, for you, that is sick, I'm going to follow you in that way now. That is going to send your child abroad to go and study, or that is still that will go abroad. Won't you be happy to pay for the same services in Nigeria if it is there?
I will be happy, of course.
So in other words, what is the miracle behind that hospital you're coming to abroad? That Nigerian doctors are now coming abroad to come and treat people that cannot be in Nigeria.
First and foremost, You people will, when the head is bad,
No head here.
the body
No,
will be
it should be
bad.
connected. The truth is, we come on the head. The truth is, the structure we're talking about is political structure. That's what Nigeria talk about. If I talk now, until Nigeria move from this idea of money given to local government, we clap for Buhari for making sure money gets to local government. What they're going to do with the money? They're going to pack sand on the road. You understand? Oh, everybody that does this, what they're going to do? They're going to do street lights. They don't think outside the box. If a local government knows that his task is to make money,
Kenneth,
can I finish, ma'am?
Okay.
Let me finish. If they know their task is to make money, they'll begin to think these primary school resources. Look at the big field, because primary schools in Nigeria, they have the space. The buildings are falling down, but the structure is there. They would have used that money.
Are they utilizing the structure?
Can I finish now, ma'am? They would have used that money to rebuild the school. Make it standard like that international one, so we begin to pay though.
But dubious leaders will not allow that. They will sit on the money, and that is why we're having the issues, and that is what we're saying.
Princess, I hear you. We don't have. It's not a matter of everybody will be dubious with the system as it is now. Okay. Even in Nigeria today, the system will corrupt you. The problem we have is thinking, moving things from. If you give me a job, you are working at Srtv, is the job given to you that you do? By the time we come into our meeting and say today we start to make money, everybody begins to start to think along that line. But if we don't talk about it, it's not part of it. You come to the job, you present, you go home. You understand?
I want to ask Kenneth something. Kenneth,
Yeah.
are you familiar with the government secondary school in Apo Resettlement?
The government secondary schools?
It's Zone E, Apo Resettlement. Zone E.
I don't really know Abuja that much, but I attended one. I attended a government college.
Hold on. I mean, in Apo Resettlement, Zone E, when you go to your former house, there's a big secondary school there at that junction.
Okay, yeah.
Are you familiar with it?
Yes. I even play football in their field most times.
Then hold on. Have you gone there or passed there by chance around 9-10 o'clock in the morning?
A large number of students. They have huge number of students.
Now that is my point. You have a school where it's as if there are no leaders. Nobody's putting any of the students in check. Now it's a daily reoccurrence that if you go to that school as of now this time, you will see 200 students outside that place on the road, literally everywhere on the road. And it's a daily practice. And then the salon woman close to my gate, she was telling me that she was quarreling with her husband. I've told you, take my daughter out of that school. I don't know why children will go to school and they're outside the gate, and the student and the teachers are not doing anything about it. Are you getting now? If you go to that zone in as I speak to you now, it's just that I don't want to waste time. We'll call somebody on video now. You will see students everywhere. And sometimes they don't know how they walk out of that gate. Sometimes you see students around 12, they're already going out. And say, when people begin to see these things, that is why people take their children to places they know, okay, there's somebody there putting eyes on them. We're not saying that is a good system, but what we're saying is that we've been crying. Even look at local government, we've seen your local government chairman, instead of providing seats for children sitting on the floor, they are bringing paper and notebook that are sold for 40 naira, 50 naira to students, and then for us to clap for them. And you, the parents.
The problem is, it is the job, it is the mindset of the local government. They thought they've done their job. I don't understand. I can't blame them right now. You understand? If my job as a local government chairman, if I am not to know that I need to provide that they will clap for me, Princess, let's get it defined. Their job is to run schools. They don't understand that they can run the schools like they would have run their own. They run it like as if it's everybody's thing. So you go there, you do one small thing for the children.
And because it has been a system, how do we sanitize it?
That's what I'm saying. You sanitize the system by only one thing, by empowering them and getting them that your job is no more to pay salaries of schools, not to put water there. Your job is to make sure the school makes money. You see the private school, I'm going to show you our private schools. They are making money. Your schools, and take this money. Make sure your school is making not as much as that, but it's making some money. I'm not going to give you money to pay anymore. Let the children pay some school fees. You family that is able to take your child abroad, pay little school fees to the government. Let them be school fees, not free. But you know what? The standard, the government will give you a better standard. In those days, only government college is better than private school. Who goes to private schools in those days?
Government college was the best. I think that's the school all my siblings went to.
You see?
My brothers.
Exactly.
I brought if you remember, I brought Dr. Srtv London here on one of my shows recently, and he did say that now we're clamoring for pay school fees, but during your time, all these ministers were saying, all these senators, not one of them actually paid school fees.
But we need to pay now.
Hold on.
We need to pay now.
Point is this. Yeah. That the education sector, they know what to do. It is not a magic, like you say, a rocket science to sanitize our educational system to make sure that it is working even more than the standard of the private schools we are clamoring for.
Yes, even the UK, yeah. I want to let you guys know that other than private school, primary schools and secondary school, which is free, if you go to invest in the UK, you get what Tinubu did now. You get loan, you pay your school fees. Now you're going to get good school. When you finish, you pay back when you get a good job. You understand? I am one for that. If Nigerians can go and send their children abroad to come and study or send some to private schools, let them pay school fees. But the school must be standard. Local government.
Sir, do you think that it's because of school fees that is making parents to take their children outside or to private school, or another reason?
It's because of the standard. That's why they're doing it. So, that's what I'm saying. So they will be happy. Parents will be happy to pay a little bit. This is the thing. Maybe 2 naira. If I say everybody should pay 5,000, 5,000 will not break everybody's account in Nigeria.
At all.
It will help. If you put 5,000 together for 1,000 people, it's how much? It's a lot of money that can pay a lot of salaries. So if you don't collect it, the government is strained. Where do I get that money? But if everybody pays small, you understand? And government now add little because we are rich, then the school will just be boom. You understand? Government school will always be better than private schools. The same thing I say about the hospitals. You look at the Nigerian hospital, the general hospital there, and look at the side of you, a dirty hospital, a place which is like a mushroom, only one building, turned into a hospital, is receiving all the attention because there is care. What is lacking is the government at the local level lack duty of productivity. You understand? Our duty is to spend. I talk about, for instance, maybe it's difficult for me to explain this on this show. You understand? If it is in us, every department in us, to know that my job as running government office is to make money, I'm going to think of how to sustain it. Because if the government give me and I spend it, I'll go back and collect, like the state governors are doing now. They give you go and spend it, you go back and collect. You understand? If I say to you, no, I'm giving you this, run your economy under my supervision, and I'm going to take the loan. Nigerians will know I'm giving you the loan to do this because I'll be watching you. Nigerians will watch you. In fact, I will put the burden of Tinubu will be sleeping and eating. Now he'll be using this like Buhari, removing all those things from his teeth. If he makes all the governors to work, if he makes all the local government to work, Nigeria will be producing amazing stuff.
Anyway, while we wait for all that to happen, like you said, it's not rocket science. So someday, very soon, pretty soon, it might happen. But thank God that I have seen the lights.
Which light? You don't rock on Europe.
I've seen the lights, Daddy Chris.
No.
Let's be sincere.
Kenneth,
do you know that? Kenneth, do you know that? Since I was 15 years, they've not been able to see my vein. Do you believe that?
Wow.
Now, when I go to the hospitals for therapy or anything, I go through physical pain, excruciating pains. You know why? They are not able to get my vein, and they have to treat me. Do you know what that means? I will have to bear the pains. Or they give me maybe a tablet, I take it, but I can't sleep, I open my eyes to the pains. Do you know what that means? Now, I have been taken to teaching hospitals, to theater rooms where 10 doctors will come. There was a time, as an adult, my head was scraped. There was a time they said they will get a vein in a private part. There was a time they said the neck, and my mother said over a dead body, neck, no, because somebody was saying it's 50-50. Now let me shock you. I came here and I went to the hospital. It was within 1 minute they saw the vein. It is not rocket science, so it is not magic. Are you getting?
Princess,
So
the
you
people
go
that discovered the vein, were they white?
white and black.
So it's not because it's the color of their skin. It's not what makes it them better.
No, you're not getting.
I,
It's what they are
think,
using.
I think I get you. They have a brother machine.
They
I was
brought
there
the
now. I was there.
So they brought the
what are you
machine
talking about?
immediately.
Eh.
The doctor did not even look at my hand. He was looking at the machine while piercing, and that was it. And you know, when they remove it, I'll tell the nurse that don't remove it. I'll go home with it. And he said, no, don't worry. Anytime, any day, they will get your vein. So just go. We have to remove it. So let me tell you the truth. I don't blame anybody running for their life.
I see the light.
If you have the money,
The lights. Let me just summarize it. She has seen the lights.
You have seen the light. So I understand that. But what we said, I understand. Like I said, when you get used to a good thing, you can't go back to bullshit. But my experience here, it pains me deeply that the same people that are treating us here are actually Nigerians. You've seen my accountant. He's from Edo State. A Benin man.
But are you not scared anytime you go to Nigeria and you're sick or something, you're ill?
Of course, I would be scared
Why?
because of the I can't describe it. You understand?
See,
Because since I've been in Europe, they don't give me antibiotics anyhow. You understand? I was with my friend. We went to this chemist and I was there with him. We were in the car and he told the guy, I don't know what he even said. We were sitting in the car because Nigeria, we don't come down. The guy came. He packed some medicine. He gave him some. Gave him the other one. And I was looking at him. He said, don't talk. I kept quiet. I said, I'm quiet. He gave me this one. The boy looked at some. He said, this blood message. You understand? Emeka was treating a man, a PhD holder. And I said, doctor, what are you going to do with this, all this medicine? Who recommended it? That was when I know I'm dead. You understand? If I sick here, I'm gone.
We are used to that.
So you go to the chemist, a boy just pack, and since I've been here, if they give you injection,
that means it's very serious.
Why they choke needle on your body? They give you pills to take. I don't understand.
No,
and antibiotics,
normally when we have,
you will not take antibiotics if you got here now. They don't give you antibiotics anyhow. Nigerians live on antibiotics. You know what? You guys, give me Ampicos.
Because even for typhoid, because once we have headache, we're having typhoid.
And you take
it and it goes away.
That was why we lost this amazing young musician, Mobad. The guy had a cut, and then a nurse came and gave him triple doses of tetanus injection. Without even taking his blood to go and know that this young man takes some, smoke and some other, substance in his system. And then the thing spikes the guy's, pressure, and he just dies like that. So,
but Kenneth,
go with local governments in Nigeria must sit up. I was the councillor in my village, just our ward. And one day we were in his house, I said, the wife went to buy egg, that the egg is now 100 naira. That was last year. I said, you as a councillor, where is our council poultry? He said, Kenneth, what kind of nonsense? I said, can't you start a poultry for this council? You are taking some money that you want to go and clear the bush and repair transformer. Can't you meet the governor and say, please, we need a poultry in this council to meet up the protein needs of our people?
Thank you.
If you are the one doing this egg and you have all these young people employed here, you can now decide to sell it at 80 naira because you know that you don't.
Kenneth, you stop them from having bakeries.
Kenneth, thank you. Do you know that most of what they do is to go and clear community, clear bushes, let everybody clear front of their of
No, princess, that is how our councillors eat in the east. They just tell us we want to clear the bush. Governor will give them 10 million to clear bush and increase.
And Kenneth, you know what I'm even saying? That money is enough even to open a bakery.
Yes.
And people can eat free bread, and a lot of people will be employed, and it will be of a standard bakery. Not the one I'm going to do myself, which is going to be dirty and rough. And so I'm saying that we should learn to engage our local government, our government in particular, to be productive.
So, Kenneth, did the man actually buy into that very, good initiative you gave him?
Princess, as I speak to you now, his regime for councillorship has ended. He is now chasing one essay position in Imo State.
Look at something very, very big you gave to this man. The man would have dropped now. He will be busy.
And I know he's watching me now.
No, he's not supposed to be.
I know he's watching me now, sir.
What are you saying now? Kenneth, what you said now, the princess don't even get it.
I
It's not
get
for,
it,
it's not
sir.
for him. No,
It's for the community.
thank you.
I get it.
So when is
but
even
now
gone?
it help him to be busy even after his tenure.
He can get job
He
there.
can be there.
Assalamu
That's
alaikum.
what I'm saying.
The only thing he achieved as a councillor, and I know he's watching my show, he's a very good friend of mine. Of course, he's with the PDP, so I'll tell him. The only thing he achieved as a councillor was that he bought a car, he built a house, and he called me sometimes and said, your party has increased fuel. I said they should increase it to 1,000 naira. That car, you will not have had the car if you're not a councillor.
Yes.
So they should even increase it so you come back to your normal status and work with us.
No, but
So that's the problem we have, sir.
you see, if we can learn to be productive, do you know how many bakeries like Nigeria can't get good bread? You understand? So if it's the farm garden alone that they process and package it well, there is nothing
bread is something everybody eats. Most I don't eat.
So you are talking of egg. Bakery is even easier. You understand? They can do more than bakery, princess. They can even do more than bakery. So what we're saying is so simple.
It's so simple. You know, like we said on this show, I think most of these, you know what I'll do now? I'm trying to, I'll copy this show today and give to all the local government chairman, the chairman. You people can be, start to think outside the box. Do something different for your state, for your local government, for your community.
Well, you're even talking of local government now. Princess, leave local government alone. The number one people we really want to beg to behave are even the governors. You understand? The governors should stop, and it is important that governors stop taking allocation from Abuja. Let's bring the kind back. You understand? The most important thing is for our governors to stop the mentality. In fact, it get to be in our DNA now that my job as a governor is not to take allocation and spend it. Yeah? My job is to take allocation and invest it. You look at the language. You understand? And it's going to start from the presidency telling them, I'm going to work with you. From today, you are my source of income. You go and work with your local government. Tell your local government they are your source of income. But because there are different tiers of government, I will control all from here. Allocation of 2 billion go to every local government. Every state get maybe 100 billion. You know what? We're going to take this loan. But Nigeria will become a production site. I mean, the whole country. And take the loan from anywhere, Nigeria will support you. Because we know we're going to pay this loan back. If you borrow money to set up a business, would you get the money back?
Why not?
But what we borrow money to do, we borrow money to go and marry new wives. This thing we're saying now, I said it on my last show, on Robo Show. I said, Kenneth, do you know, many times people say, I don't have money to start business. And I get confused. That's the easiest thing. Meanwhile, in a family, when there's a burial, people will gather money. People want to come and bury. But they will not gather money to come and start a small bakery. So we have money. And our kings, I said to my kings, I was fighting my king. I said, even if my kings alone can organize his community, they can raise people out of poverty. I'm not even talking of government alone. You understand? And I said to people, I don't go to any meeting, any gathering that doesn't have something to do with wealth creation. It's a waste of my time. If I go to a meeting, no, they have a plan. I said to my people here, in London here, if our group here is making plans that we donate money every £200 every month, that at the end of every year, I will get a house in England. My money, the money they will give to me, will be enough for me to buy a house. I will be there every Sunday.
You'll be the first person to even go.
But they don't give any plan that would make my life better. What am I doing there? And they get angry with me. They don't want to see me. I'm their number one citizen. But I'm their number one enemy. When they finish, they will still call me. And I say, well, that is who I am. I stand for that. What I'm saying now is not only if we can be productive. That is the only reason I was supporting Peter Obi. You understand? He's the only one that spoke the language. Maybe you don't even understand what he said. God put something in his mouth. Because it's something I believe in. That if our local government, imagine, Kenneth, you just mention something your councillor can do. Meaning down to the world, they can be productive.
They can, actually.
And princess, do we not have money to do that? You know, some places, they don't even need to do that. You know, if
much
the local
is it to open a bakery and
Thank
you say we used to remit maybe 300, 200 million to them? How much a monthly? How much is it to even build? And the lands are already there.
Princess,
so just to set up a structure.
You are thinking too far. For local government, I ask them, if a private stupid church can build a school and they are making money. You know how much private schools make? You cannot convert these beautiful premises into a wonderful school and make money. Then something is wrong with you. You are not fit to govern. You know why? It's not their fault because they've been told that when the money allocation come, all you need to do is to maybe build a pipe bomb, a borehole, borehole, and they'll clap for you. Then when you come in, you bring 3 chairs and they clap for you. No, okay, run the school. The copy from the private schools run your school. You will not charge my children the same day like those idiots. You will charge them small because your own is to support community, but you must make money to run it. You see the money they will pay. I'm telling you, with only 3,000 naira in a big school, you will be able to pay your teachers 500,000 a month. What else are they going to use the money for? The money for school fees. What are they going to use it for? It's not to pay the teachers. Meaning schools will now, to become a teacher will become a great job. Kenneth, it's not rocket science. It hurts me. Like, see, why would I go and work in the government hospital if they will not pay me? But if you make sure that people pay well for their treatment, not like the hospital, then people will, you bring in good nurses, bring any doctor that misbehave, you are not the one running it. It's not federal government. I'm running my hospital, meaning I want to be able to attract clients to this place.
I think even the government hospitals will pay as well. It's not free.
No, I know, Princess. I think what you say now is even if we pay now, the money goes into one idiot pocket because they are not made to understand that they need to make sure they make money from the hospital. If private people can run a successful hospital, why can't the whole big general hospital with the facility is there? All I need to do is bring more beds, bring in good staff, make the place neat, and I'll get the best. Bring in electricity. Private people can run it. Why can't I? Give me one hospital to run in Nigeria if you not turn me to a billionaire. Give me the school in my village. One of them, my private school. I'll become a millionaire because I will convert the place into a wonderful place. I'm saying now, I don't want to do it. Federal government, the state, local government should be doing it.
Anyway, we could go on and on, but because of time, there's something I really want us to discuss on today, but I'm just going to skip some of these headlines. But there's a headline here on Vanguard. I'm taking one of that story that says ex-Labour leader Kokori struggling for life in Delta Hospital. That is one on Vanguard. And then when you go to the Nigerian pilot, you will see Governor Borewori promises to patronize competent indigenous contractors. That is on pilot. And then we have NYC DG advises core members to avoid risky ventures. I don't understand what he meant, what the DG meant by that. But I don't see what could be more risky than Nigeria as a system sending somebody from maybe Port Harcourt that graduated from there to Zamfara for service. That is even more risky than anything in the world for me. Mm-hmm. When the DG says advises companies to avoid risky ventures, I am saying that what could be more risky than you as a government sending somebody from Port Harcourt, from Delta State to Zamfara to go and serve the country?
For me personally, I ask myself, the name National Youth Service should be scrapped.
Why?
It should be called National Youth Entrepreneurial Training after the university. You understand?
No, it should be National
Apprentice.
No, it's not. Apprenticeship. You learn something. Can you understand? In 1 year.
National Apprenticeship Scheme.
Thank you. Yes, sir. I don't have a problem with after the university, you are sent 1 year to go and learn a skill that can impact your country. But what I have is a problem for someone that after suffering, Princess, you know what it means to go to school in Nigeria.
I know.
And after that, you now risk my life. That I could be killed.
Yes.
My God. When I did not even go to school with the government loan, my parents struggled to send me to school, and you're going to risk my life because I want to get one certificate.
It's quite, it's becoming, and we have been crying. People, there has been calls from even experts. Scrap it, turn it to something else. Let people go to within their community. They must be useful. Give them something else to do.
You guys just said it right now. Princess, listen to yourself. You guys have won here. You understand? The same thing we're talking about now. Everything we do must be first. They gave us all the things we copied. They were copied because the British people that gave us some of this system, they didn't know they did it for their own gain. Now the society has moved on. Our
And you are
curriculum
stuck
need to
there.
change. Yes, so we need to change every structure we have. Like we said now, if a child that finishes school, you now put him to go and teach in a private school. You understand? That is his destiny for 1 year. And he has served the country, he has not served the country. You're stupid. You understand? But if I didn't mean like we're giving an apprenticeship scheme.
Thank you.
Well, you see, when you study law, until you practice in the chamber, you don't know what law is. Until you go and work in the court, you don't know what it is yet. You understand? Let that thing be an apprenticeship scheme that you use to train yourself and you'll be paid fine. But you contribute to society.
To society.
And can I see what I say to you guys? This is where I'm confused. You go to law school, right? You know the Nigerian universities producing lawyers, and yet there's no university in Nigeria that have a law firm. Every department in Nigeria, if I am running a school, your department will be making me money because even if it's a right little contract, I know law department can write it.
Sure.
So why are they not doing it again? Look at automobile engineering. So are you telling me that we cannot have automobile? That's why I said, look at what we have done out of medical school. We have the medical teaching hospital. Let there be automobile teaching. You understand? Let there be law teaching. So the lawyers come there to teach and they practice.
I have a friend in Uniport that studied fishery. And I asked her, even when you were in school, does Uniport have a fish pond where I can come and buy fish at a subsidized rate? Even at the normal rate, they don't have. So what is the essence of you telling me that you studied this course when even your school does not have an example to set in the course? You understand? We have people that study forestry. The school does not even have a botanical garden where you can now go and buy flower.
We have our low Kenneth.
Look at the disaster. Sorry,
I remember in my school, one of those students there in school, Kenneth, then they did ask them to get a drum, right? And they used to keep fish there. That is where they now,
this is the disaster. So Kenneth, what are you saying now? Right from the universities, Kenneth, right from the universities, you can begin to utterly practice what you are studying. Now, when you finish when you now finish, you now go and serve. You are under the apprenticeship scheme to prepare you for the society. You will be more than equipped to deal with the outside world. But if you go and study, maybe now you study law, and at the end they go and put you in one place to teach. One private school.
And they will not even send you to a place where you cannot communicate with a language and the children cannot communicate with English. You will not go there and maybe teaching them English, you understand? But what's the essence of sending somebody across nation, across board, just to be there for 1 year to do what exactly?
No, you see, Princess, that's what we said. A lot of things that when we say let's restructure Nigeria, this is the thing we are talking about. People think it's we want to have new local government, do this. I said with the structure now, Nigeria is restructured with the economy. Only, like Peter said it all, restructure Nigeria by making them produce. Restructure NYSC so that NYSC becomes productive.
Useful as well.
That's what when we say useful, productive. Restructure me.
Because I
so that I become useful to myself and the country.
That is it. And at the end of the day, you have a lot of youths now being, engaged in so many activities, being productive, engaging in one thing or the other, instead of just, I said it from the one, this NYC thing, serving, I don't know what we're serving.
No, we're talking now, Mary is a beneficiary of NYC. Mary.
Because of SRTV.
Yes.
No, but look at what Mary did. Mary finished school. She served with us. Now she's a staff. Mary, when she started, I was saying, what is girl doing? But now she's a presenter.
Yes.
She can do well. That is what you do by apprenticeship. Apprenticeship. If you are saying Mary, if you were sent to one private school to go and teach, but it was Mary that look for where to want to start. You understand?
Funny enough, like my kid sister. Okay, mine was so many years ago, but like my kid sister. Let's go back to my kid sister that she also did her own last year. She was first of all posted to Zamfara.
I know.
And I told my family that she's not going. you're not going there. So just forget about it this year. And the other year, she was sent to Ilori somewhere. And I told her, okay, just do your, what's it called, camping, and then we'll bring you out. And you know that she went to that school. She was posted to a school to teach, a teacher, of course. That is what most of us we did, teaching. And at the end of the day, do you know that the principal said, we cannot allow you to go. You're not going anywhere. We have not seen a chemistry teacher for here in how many years. Now you have come, you will take chemistry and you're not going anywhere. My son, I say, I'm redeploying you. I don't know what you're saying, man. And at the end of the day, I brought her in here in Abuja, and I had to engage her to go and do what? While she was still working, I had to put her somewhere so she benefits something. And she was supposed to go back to Abuja, and she told me that I am making clothes for people. I've taken clothes for over 30 persons. I need to finish them. Now, this is what we're talking about. Apprenticeship. Somebody should be useful at the end of the day, not just say, okay, I'm going. And most of these coppers, Kenneth, don't forget the risk, the ones that are being kidnapped, the ones having accidents, the ones that have died. You see people going to one state and the next in accident, kidnapped. The last one on the news, I think 2 weeks ago, up to now, they are still in captivity. How many of them? And their parents don't have the money that they are telling them to pay. And federal government is not forthcoming as well. So when the DG is saying they should stop risky ventures, I don't know what is more risky than taking somebody's child 1 year to a school to go and teach what I don't know.
In fact, I'm not even talking about the insecurity. I know you guys are more sensitive to that. But I'm more concerned about somebody serving a year without being useful to himself and the society. In fact, if worst case, yes, so Mary, if the local government were now made to work, and the local government will be looking for coppers because they need workers. You understand? To do beautiful things, and the children will learn something. In fact, they will be begging them to stay. After serving in any place, you will be begged to stay there. You understand? Because the people need services.
Need young hands.
Exactly. Well. And they will continue to expand. The more staff you have, the more you expand. Who doesn't want more staff? Else I have to be looking for more staff because we're going to expand.
Anyway. I always say that NYC is the reason why we have a lot of organic cream sellers and a lot of bakers on Facebook.
No, Princess.
The moment they
finish NYC, most of them can't invest. I don't know the kind of investment when I go these days.
So they have to, of course, start what they can put their hands into at the time to get money. Is NYC supposed to end with just being paid 30K a month or 30,000 a month? At the end of your service, I was thinking it should be possible with that certificate to approach a microfinance bank and say, I want to get money for a business. I want to get money for a skill. I want to get money for what I've learned. I want to start up my own. But you see people just post, thank God, God did. What did God do for you? God has put in the labor market. You don't even know where you're going to from that step. And then you not see the person.
We have the current trend now.
Your short shoe plug. Your organic cream plug.
POS. Large numbers of them always engage in POS.
So it's a disgrace.
POS is a good thing.
No. What they've done is Nigerian kids, being who they are, they decide to be creative by now embarking on the smallest thing they can do, which is something to start with. You understand? Imagine if they're not made to even train in the next few years. Now Nigeria is trying to recruit young people who can even run their little banking because we don't have ATM enough. If POS become a skill, then I'm sure it can be done in a better way. Not the strict one we see now. You understand? That they become true agent to bank. Certified. Everything can be organized. You understand? But with proper training. Not just but again, to be fair to them, what is proper training? Apprenticeship is the best training. No?
It is.
Apprenticeship. Because you serve your guy has the experience. He has been doing this for so many years. He has made mistakes. It's not like we want to start a TV station now. I beg, Mokuna asked us, we went through hell. We don't want you to go through the same thing. You understand? But if you jump into it, you're going to suffer. You understand? So that is the point of apprenticeship. Mentoring. You understand? So the young people that live in school today, they can gain experience that will make them useful to themselves and to Nigeria.
I believe I agree with that as well. I'm really happy that we've been able to, discuss on this as regarding the youth. NYC, according to Kenneth, I stand by with you 100%. That name should be changed, or whatever they're doing should be scrapped. Total restructuring, overhauling of that system instead of wasting our time in name of going to across south, west, and north doing what I don't know. And now you're saying they should stop risky ventures. Anyway, thank you all for being on the show today. But Daddy Chris, I'm going to come back to Kenneth on another show maybe. But Daddy Chris, what do you think? Tomorrow is the election, Kogi, Imo, and Baresa. What do you think? What are you expecting to be different from what we've seen before?
Awareness is different. Every time I think Nigeria is growing, to be fair. We're not where we were before. You understand? Good luck, they said did a better election. I'm sure the last election was actually better than the ones of before. It's just that our expectations are getting better, which is something, you understand? All I'm going to say is Nigerians, the expectations is always higher than what we can deliver right now. So is life. So I want us to go out and mass vote. Whatever happens, we need to accept it and move on. You understand? But a time will come where this talking will make changes is happening. It's not going to be once, it's gradual. By the time you and I know the importance of election, that with elections, if you vote, the best if your governor is the only way a governor can be accountable to you is when you vote him in. If somebody selects him, he will be accountable to the person that selects him. So that is why we need to have somebody that we vote for. So don't be intimidated. Go out tomorrow and vote. Whatever I said, the process is evolving. Far back in 1922, British politics was a very corrupt practice. This place we are now, they were very corrupt. Today, they've mastered it. So let us do our own. We have come of age, we are doing well. This is something is a long time to learn. But hey, let us still give ourselves 2 more years. By the time Tinubu give us a better election, according to Kenneth, by the time he give us a free and fair election, the Baba that was outside was able to do the whole thing. And by the time he give us a free and fair election, we will have a better country. God bless Nigeria.
Man, and Kenneth, I would have loved to have your opinion, but say your matter, not be matter when they do briefly.
No, let me just throw a little.
So I want to have your opinion somewhere else. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. But just go like a sentence, it's fine.
Yeah, I just want to encourage, especially my people in Imo State, to come out and vote. INEC saying they are expecting 30% of registered voters to vote is very unacceptable. Is a shame if people in Imo State don't vote. There is nothing we will see in the election in Imo State that has not happened before. We've had instances where a sitting governor had lost election in Imo State. So we have instances where unknown parties had already won election in Imo State and became a governor through PP and the rest. So I want to encourage our people to vote. The Renew Hope agenda will converse free and fair election, and we will see it displayed from tomorrow. People will vote, their votes will count, and it will only count when they defend their vote. So let them come out, let them vote, let them defend. It's possible in other states, it can happen anywhere else.
Yes, I saw this image yesterday. I was laughing. I said, okay. And somebody said, see them, 2 of them. Let's only say feathers. But regardless, we wish them well. Let the vote of the people count. The people will definitely hope that their votes will also account, and their candidate people will go out, like you said, exercise their franchise without fear. And while you're out there, also be careful. Careful while you're out there waiting for your vote to be counted. Carry your water, your snacks, and wear sneakers, like the tips we used to give to you for election. Sneakers, joggers, in case of anything, sir. Yes, wear a t-shirt. If possible, wear a face cap to cover, shade you from the sun and all that. So, but most importantly, carry water as well. And go out and vote. The security agency did say that they were fully prepared. INEC said they are fully prepared as well. So once again, we can't trust them, but we trust them this time again. Let's see what comes out tomorrow.
You better listen to President because she has seen the light. All right.
Absolutely. So that would be a good place to wrap up the show today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you guys in Abuja.
And thank you, Kenneth and Mary, for being on the show. Thank you, Dad.
It's always a pleasure.
It's thank God it's Friday. While you are out there, be careful and obey the traffic laws and drive carefully as well. Remember yours truly, Princess Cassie. I'll see you again on Monday, hopefully. And of course, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and subscribe. Invite somebody to the page as well. And remember, SRTV packages, a travel tour, renters, and a magazine where you can showcase your products and all your goods and services as well. Don't forget also that we have production outlets where you just walk in and you start shooting. It's quite amazing to know that you don't have to pay so much to be there. So just give us a call and that's all you need to do. We'll see you again on the show next week.
Hooray! The next President Show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The Next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets. Are you a filmmaker in Abuja and its environment? Do you need a place for your music video, or you need a venue for your conference and even an editing suite for your post-production? Look no further. Our beautiful turret in Lokugoma has it all. We have a whole floor that consists of 3-angle lounge, a beautiful dining area, a large kitchen, a conference area that can comfortably accommodate 60 persons, and 5-bedroom adaptable for all kind of shoots. The good news is all is available at affordable price. And you know what? If you are a member of the Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria, you have 20% discount. So what are you waiting for? Hurry and contact us on the numbers on your screen now.